Okay, so I'm going to try and keep things simple for now. That's why I'm recording at an angle. I want you to concentrate both on I want you to be able to see both my right hand and left hand working at the same time. For now, I'm going to concentrate on funk that is 16 note based. So 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 4. So that's the job of my right hand. My right hand moves in that pattern, the up and down 16 note pattern, and it either hits the strings or moves without hitting the strings. Okay. Where my left hand, and for now I'm going to just keep it simple. I'm going to just play a chord that is a bar on the 5th fret. So I'm just going to press down a few strings, like 4 or 5 strings on my left, with my left hand on the 5th fret. And the job of my left hand is either to press or to release by muting. So, and here this is where, you know, it's the inconsistency of playing funk. Sometimes the muting, the clicking sound, the ghost note, how it's called really technically, really, it's either played by just releasing and muting the string. So I'm gently just resting my finger, or this is the alternate way, it's just by resting my entire hand, so my 4 fingers, and when I'm pressing down just with my index finger, obviously that will move the string under the 3 fingers that I'm using to gently mute the strings. So if I'm, let's just make an example. So you see that in this second way of muting, I'm gently resting my fingers on the strings, and because I'm pressing down occasionally, that with my index finger alone, that moves the strings under these other 3 fingers, so to speak. I hope that's clear enough. So I can do that, you know, the pressing and resting with my left hand just with 1 finger, or by resting all my fingers on the fretboard and pressing down just with my index finger. That might require a little bit of, you know, of getting used to that technique, so to speak. So as you can see now on this page that I've overlapped here, you can see that my first exercise is to just play a 16-note pattern where I press down on the first 16 note, and then I just play ghost notes for the rest of the bar. It should sound something like this. I'm going to put a track, just a drum track, and it should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be quite easy. Obviously, remember that you can slow down the tempo if you want, just by, you know, clicking on that gear and playback speed, you know, using the playback speed on the YouTube video. This is too slow or too fast. So let's do now the second example where I play that, I press down on the second 16 note of that same, in the same way. Let's do it again. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and so on. So you see now basically what I'm doing. I'm hitting on the first upstroke of that pattern. Okay. So now let's move that 16 note on the 3, on the third note, 16 note of that pattern. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do now the last one, the 4th exercise, where I have the 16 note on the last 16 of that pattern. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this should be relatively simple. So this is where things can get a little bit, you know, where you can experiment. It's literally down to your sensibility or your taste in music, so to speak, because you can learn these things. You can create these new patterns by copying funk patterns from songs. Like you can pick some James Brown tunes, or maybe a bit more modern, like Corey Wong stuff, and you can try and copy those patterns and learn something that already exists. But you can actually mathematically come up with patterns by looking at combinations. Because it's all the combinations of 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can consider those the full 16 nodes of each quarter note pattern, so to speak. I hope this makes sense. So let's move on to the fifth exercise. Basically, what I'm doing now is just starting to add other combinations, other melodic rhythms. That's what they're called, basically, or rhythmic melodies, however you want to call them. So basically, I'm using that idea to add now 2 16 notes that were impressing, and 2 are ghost notes. So let's see how that works. 2, 3, 4. And so I'm pretty sure they understood the concept. So you start moving the 2 notes, then you can basically make up combinations of 1 to 4, and either have a note that is pressed and a note that is a ghost note, okay, or a note that is not played, okay. So you can make a combination with those 3 variables, and I leave it with you to write down all the combinations and basically just try and play them. And this is a way to create funk patterns mathematically, in a way, so you can explore all the combinations. Then obviously on top of that, you can create chord progressions, and we will see that in a separate lesson. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and please check out the pinned comment. There are other videos there that I always add, and check out all the links in my description if you could. That would be great. Subscribe, like, share on social media as always, and leave comment if you want. I appreciate any feedback. All right, take care. Bye-bye.